Welcome back, everybody. This is episode 6 of Arc 3 of Better Than Heroes. I'm Rachel Weeks, and I play Klik, the level 9 Tohr-Kreen fighter.
I'm Ovredahl, and I play the human Warlock Flute, a.k.a. the Windrider.
I'm Jordan Dahl, and I play the Moonboy, a level 9 Moonboy.
I'm Aaron Urist, and I play K.A.I. Hammerstein, the Artificer.
And I'm Harlan Kelly, the Dungeon Master of this game, and I play everybody else.
In just a few moments, we are going to play some 5e Spelljammer-inspired Dungeons & Dragons. But first, our show is live soundtracked by Jason Wardell, who you can hear behind us. It is directed by Case Drury of Tiger Moon Productions. And it is brought to you by our patrons and our subscribers. So if you love the show and you want to see it continue to improve and grow, please consider supporting the show financially, either by subscribing or becoming a patron. We've got lots of great perks, including a monthly D&D game set in the BTH universe on Firma Regna. If you can't support the show financially, we completely understand. Please make sure that you follow and like all of our stuff and share it on social media. Telling your friends about the show is really a huge way that you can support without throwing some bucks in there. We appreciate every little thing that you can do, and we're excited for day 3 of a big battle. So enjoy last week's recap.
Last time on Better Than Heroes, attacked by a Mind Flayer vessel in the tangled tunnels of Garden, the crew of the Dinger took the fight to their enemies. After teleporting onto the Nautiloid's bridge, K.A.I and Flute battled 2 Mind Flayers in the strange shadows of the Aberrant Helm. Lord Osodo and another Mind Flayer who appeared to be his superior. They paralyzed Flute with psychic blasts, but K.A.I was able to destroy the head squid. Flute shook off his paralysis and was able to quickly rejoin the fight. The invisible Klik ran into the ship and was chased by dwarven thralls who emerged from the walls. That's a little war poem. Moonboy sprouted magical moon plants and followed Klik, who leapt onto the bridge to help her friends. K.A.I spared the wounded and defeated Lord Osodo, stealing his mind as he turned and entered into the Nautiloid's helm in an attempt to stop the onslaught of mind slaves. Osodo surrendered to Flute and revealed that another Illithid remained hidden on board, controlling the dominated minions. As the rest of the team looked for a way to find and kill the last Mind Flayer before the growing army of thralls descended upon them, it came around to Moonboy's turn. Meanwhile, within the horrible alien psychospace of the Nautiloid's helm, unaware of the developments on the bridge, K.A.I's consciousness searched seemingly in vain for a stop to the violence outside. Within that awful space, K.A.I found an enormous elder brain. He reached out with his mind to sever the brain's connection to the helm and rolled a critical saving throw. Then, with a brilliant explosion of magical energies, he cliffhanger. Fuck! What happened? What happened after the flash? Is K.A.I's mind getting flayed? Flayed for eternity by the alpha brain? Will the crew be fallen upon by ravenous brain thralls? Find out right now on Better Than Heroes!
Alright, hi, hello. We're here. We're going. So, Moonboy, you have flown from your ship. You've seen members of your crew disappear off of it magically. You know that Klik has traversed the front of it invisibly. You've seen the mind-possessed Kreen and fishfolk up at the front of the bow of this ship. turn inside and walk in all together very uniformly. And so you've zoomed through the fleshy tunnel that is the only opening, the biggest opening into this nautiloid ship, this big tentacled with a big shell on the back that you know is inhabited by mind flayers, and you zoom through there, the light of your shoes lighting up this gross pathway, and you head up these stairs, cresting up into it. Or as you crest up into it, you see up on this platform, way up in the air, you can see just the top of Klik and K.A.I's heads up there, some others scurrying around, the carcass of a mind flayer laying on the ground. What do you do?
Okay, the Moonboy is rocketing through this hall. He's going to use 15 feet of movement to kind of crest the arch of the stairs.
Absolutely.
And another 10 to jam back up this way.
Oh, that's right, because you can just fly. You don't have to walk up the stairs. You can just zoom up there.
Exactly.
All right. Give me a... you know what? Since you rolled a 20 stealth check from before, I'm not going to have these creatures roll to see if they notice you. I'm going to have them be surprised by your presence zooming up there from before because you had such a good stealth check earlier. So you take no opportunity attacks as you just kind of zoom up and past these creatures. And I'd love for you to have a perception check.
Happily. Did I hear the whole "there's another mind flayer" thing?
I yelled it.
Yeah.
You did yell it.
I communicated it as well. I think to you specifically.
I think so.
And I said under the stairs as well.
So
Yeah.
this is,
It's easy. You all have the Rocky Talkie. That's a fair assumption that you all kind of would be
it's a 20,
bogeys
dirty
at
20.
6 o'clock. A dirty 20? Okay, great. You see these 6... The Kreen and the fish folk that were out on the balcony have kind of like moved up and around in this arch formation here, closing in on the stairs where K.A.I, Klik, and Flute, that lead to the platform that K.A.I, Klik, and Flute are on. And right at the tip of the arch of these 6 beings is a mind flayer as well. There's one still here in the room that you see behind some crates that have been stacked up at the crest of the staircase,
like up here
on the farther east side. Yeah, not quite. I'm going to throw him on the map right here, as I would put him just a little farther back. He's underneath this platform that you zoomed, or well, you tell me, would you have zoomed up to the platform, or are you zooming underneath the platform here?
Up on top.
Okay, cool. Well, then you noticed him underneath the platform.
Oh,
and
it's like beneath where I am.
Yes, yeah. So he is underneath that platform that you are on. But he's kind of this mind flayer is back amongst the shadows of this ship.
Dang it.
I'll let you stay down there with your movement because you would have noticed this as you go up. You can stay down there, but
I guess if he would have seen it, then he would have stopped and not gone up there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you are closer to the excuse me, you are closer to the Kreen and fish folk in this circumstance because it's only 10 feet. That platform is only 10 feet off of the ground, so you would have had to be hovering less than 10 feet off the ground.
Is there any space back where it is, or is it like in the corner?
Oh no, there's definitely space back where it is. It is an open area, absolutely.
Okay. Then instead of using the 15 feet to go up here, Moonboy is going to use that 15 feet to go right here in front of it. And I am going to cast... Actually, give me a second. Let me make sure. Let me see if the movement works. So 10. That's 10. So he can actually go. Bongo. Can he go here? Could he? No. And I'm going to cast Thunderwave.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so Moonboy, you zip up into this room. It has this dark red, misty tint. The whole space does. Like, it kind of looks like church if all the stained glass windows are red here as you fly up. And you zoom right past these Kreen and these fish folk in the shimmering light from you. Kind of just like surprises them, and they whip around for a second. And when you just lock onto the head of the Mind Flayer peeking out from behind these crates, you can zip over and just boom, cast this spell here.
And I'm trying to kind of blast them out to here.
Okay, great.
So, and it'll get all of these boxes too. So it's gonna be like a big, crazy explosion, and hopefully, it'll blast this squid out into the open. Constitution saving throw, please. You're trying to beat a 16.
All right, we've got Secret GM Ted in the house tonight, helping me run this truly wild combat, our first 3-session combat. So Ted, if you could roll that Constitution saving throw me for you. He makes it with a 19.
Okay, that's 15 damage, so half of that, so 7 damage isn't pushed.
Okay, cool. So yeah.
Oh, and also I get to make an attack with my archer. That is 24 to hit.
That does hit, absolutely.
An additional 2 damage.
Great. So as there is this big boom that comes off of you when the spell is cast, all of the boxes around him just shatter and explode around him. It's a very cinematic moment as there are just slivers of wood just flying all over the place, and there just seems to be this like weird dust and liquid that seeps out from the boxes in and around you, and you see like amongst the debris is this Mind Flayer, and in case if you'd like to throw the art up, and you can't throw the art up for it, but we have amazing art from Ovredahl as always for our character art this week of it, some new Mind Flayer art, and you see Moonboy, especially with a 20 perception here, you see that there is the Mind Flayer standing there, but also floating next to him is this jagged sword that is highlighted in purple energy that the Mind Flayer does not seem to be holding, but seems to be floating next to him.
Very cool.
So yeah, and that I also love the idea of the star coming off of your constellation body, and then it just like burns into his shoulder here, and he turns and looks at you, and you're in the like a plant-like form now, right?
Yeah, I'm covered in kind of planty, moonish growths and such.
Yeah, from the spell that you have cast. Yeah, and you all, the crew, would notice this for the first time as well, as you have not seen Moonboy in this
is true.
Form before. Okay, I threw the art up in the roll 20 for this new Mind Flayer if you would like to see it as well, players. It's just peeking up on there on the side.
Ooh.
Okay, great. Is that all that you would like to do with your turn? You used all your movement, used your action, and
that's gonna have to be it.
All right, cool.
Look at his cool sword.
It is a very cool sword.
How come none of us know how to do that?
So it is now going to be 2 of the dwarves' turn that seem to have this just blank-eyed stare that are up on the highest level of the ship where the helm is perched above the rest of the room. The 2 of them that are surrounding Flute are both going to attack with advantage because they are on either side of you, Flute. As you are a bit surrounded here by 4 of these blank-eyed dwarves, and they're each going to roll an attack roll to hit. Remind me, what is your AC?
17.
17. Okay, cool. So they both walk up, swing their axes, and the first one is going to Ted, you gotta hit for me. You gotta attack hit. All right, the first one's going to roll a 22 and it's going to hit you as it walks up and just not even looking at you, Flute, just like staring straight ahead, smashes its axe down on you. For how much damage? For 10 points of damage there.
Okay, cool. I'm going to use my reaction and point back at that dwarf.
Absolutely.
And I open my mouth, and there's a sound like a hammer on an anvil, and that dwarf has to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Dexterity saving throw is this. There's a boom against it. It's a 19. Does that save?
That does save. So it's
Okay,
going
cool.
to take a whopping 4 ice damage as I cast Hellish Rebuke, and it kind of gets popped with this ice blast.
Yeah. So yeah, just right off this ice, like right off of Flute's body as the dwarf smashes into him with the axe. The other one is going to get a 23 to hit, and he's actually going to turn around and roll without advantage here as he is going to attack K.A.I. But he's K.A.I, he got a 23 to hit you.
That hits me.
And you see as he connects with you, you can just feel there's a wild swing to his axe, and I'd love for you to do a perception check real quick. Actually, insight. I love how you do insight. You can see what's going on here with this wild
Can I
swing
see
that
what's
hits
going
against
on
you.
around me? Even?
Oh, that's right, because you're still hooked
Yeah,
up.
he's in
You're
the
still hooked
chair.
up to the
Yeah.
helm. No, not at all. In fact, I'm gonna have this. There's a 30-point damage threshold here that it would have to do to you to disconnect you from it. But it only does 13 points of damage. So you're still connected to the helm on your turn that is coming up here.
Got it.
And so you do take 13 points of damage, and you all see it like turn around, swing wildly at K.A.I, connect with him, but K.A.I doesn't flinch here, even though you see some shards of metal kind of like come off his body as he is still glowing purple as he is connected to this helm. That is going to bring up Klik. It is now your turn after both of these
Yeah.
dwarves have gotten to act.
Harlan, can I get a damage check on some of these dwarves? Just a refresher from last week. I know I did some to a couple of them.
Absolutely, yeah. So there are 2 that are completely unscathed. One of them has just a little bit of damage, and then one of them is very wounded. I'm going to highlight the one
ping
who's
that one? Yeah.
absolutely. It is labeled 3 on the map here. I'm going to jump it to the front here. It is this one. I'll give it a little red tint to it so you can see exactly which one it is. Yep.
I can't quite get at that one. The untouched ones are this guy, I assume, in the corner.
The closest ones to you are the untouched ones.
Are the untouched ones? Okay.
Yeah.
Weird,
I'll give
I
the
don't
other
remember
one
which
that's
ones I
hurt
hit.
just a little bit. I'll give that like extra
Okay.
orange tint. Yeah.
Thank you. Just okay. I will. I guess I'm in range here. I'll attack this dwarf with the. Did I do the fire damage? I don't think so.
You have not, no.
I will try and spike him with the new fiery end of the Gifka, which is pointed and has a flame effect to it. That is a 17 to hit.
Okay, cool. That absolutely hits. Yeah, so you can go ahead and do that damage if you want to, as you walk up to him and this dwarf, and you just him through the side, and he just barely turns and looks at you, almost nonplussed by a very painful moment, because while the pointy end is in this dwarf, there's just a whoosh of fire that burns away his side there.
6, so that's the fire is 2d4.
Yep.
We'll spend those, so it's cool. I rolled a 9 on the initial damage, and then an additional 5 from the fiery end.
Okay, cool. And remind me which one you're hitting, the closest one to you?
The closest one, yeah, the one that just attacked K.A.I.
Okay.
I don't know. We're going to see if we can do this. I'm going to... Yeah, I'm going to spend another psi die, so I'm going to go down to 4. But I'm spending the 6 to deal an additional bit of damage here. It's another 5 of psionic force damage, so I throw a little bit more spin on that one. And I'm going to attempt to do a telekinetic thrust and push him off the side here.
Hell yeah, let's go. Let's go!
Gonna try.
Okay, cool.
So he makes a strength save, and it's against my... 8 plus 4 plus 2, so it's 14.
14? Alright, he got a 10 on his strength save, so he is yeeted off the edge here. And as he is, you just see this, the bottom end of your weapon stick into him, there's a burst of flame, and then he's just put, like somebody takes 2 hands and just shoves him off the end. He's pushed back, and he got a 5 on his acrobatics check to save as he just plummets down to the ground, and he's going to take 2d10 points of damage as he falls as well, as he falls to the 2nd level here.
Okay, that doesn't save us a ton of time, but it saves a little.
Yeah, and you see he takes he like kind of like falls and lands on his shoulder, and it's like, oh, there's a sickening crunch as he's like slowly getting back up. He is prone and seems very wounded at this point, but is still kicking and is down below. So you do have another attack.
I do have another attack, but I would have to move to hit this guy, right? Like I'm not in melee range with him. Can I move between the first and the second of my 2-handed weapon attack? Seems crazy.
I'm gonna say yes. I need to double check that later.
I'm pretty sure you can.
I also could have moved to here, and then I'd be in striking range of both. So I guess we'll just do that.
That's totally fine. I'm pretty sure that you can. Also, I misspoke earlier. The one that you're moving close to has taken just a tiny little bit of damage. That was the one that had taken a little bit of damage. Yeah.
Okay. I will take my second attack on this guy, and that is a 26 to hit.
Absolutely, as you just crush another dwarf here.
And that does 14 damage.
Okay, yeah, you just walk up to another of these like blank-eyed, stocky dwarves that seem to all look very similar. It seems like they are related or something. And your weapon just smashes into him, and again, he just almost doesn't respond as it cuts into his body, but does a lot of damage.
Okay, gosh, I'm worried about all these advancing guys and Moonboy down here. I have a second attack. I'll spend it on this guy, and chop once again with the arced moon. So that is 22 to hit, and that deals 11 damage.
Cool. Yeah. Again,
this damage to the dwarfs are non-lethal. I'm not trying to kill them. I know they're possessed, but would prefer they not keep hitting Flute.
Okay, absolutely. You can smash your weapon into it again and do that damage as you just like walk right up to it and smack it on the head with the side of your blade, and you just see some blood dribble out the nose of it, and just seems very unfazed, even though its body is showing signs of being wounded. Would you like to do anything else?
So she has movement. We're gonna use action surge here. Well, we're gonna move first. So she's gonna jump down. She's gonna jump down and move her full action, or move her full movement to the Mind Flayer over here. It's a 20-foot jump from that to the floor, right? Which is a jump she's fairly comfortable with.
Yep. This is for some people, this is maybe the only time I would do a little bit of trigonometry, as you're very high up in the air, but because of your huge psionic abilities to just have a fly speed with your agility, you absolutely can just kung fu move style leap through this room and smash right down next to this Mind Flayer with a floating sword.
Okay.
3-point landing.
And then, yeah. All the boxes are like. All right. I will take a chop at this Mind Flayer. This is with the hooked end of the blade here. That
hell yeah.
is not great. That's a 16 to hit.
Oh boy.
Add, I use my reaction, add a d6 to it.
Sick. Yeah, that's a 22 to hit.
The light of the moon guides your blade.
Yeah, that does hit as. Yeah, there's just a flash of the moon that distracts him, even though your huge, athletic mantis body is leaping through the air and slamming down right next to him, in between him and his allies as well. This wave of his minions, and he still is distracted by this flare of moonlight, and your blade cuts into him.
That is 12 damage to hit.
Fuck yeah.
And
What a swear
or 12
word.
damage on the hit, and she does not get a second attack on the action surge. So I'm done.
You do get a second attack
I
on the
do?
action surge because
Sick.
you are taking the attack action, which
That's
allows
right.
you
So
to
which
do
means
2
I get
attacks.
another
Yeah.
one. Oh, I critted!
Wait, and doesn't your Githka do something crazy on a crit?
I thought it was like a
Holy
spider attack.
moly.
I don't think I've critted yet. In
That's the
combat.
first one!
Oh my god.
I don't
So
think so.
much. Oh, Moonboy, I'm lighting the laces up for that one.
Okay. So. Okay. So when.
Okay, just read the text out loud for everybody. real
Yeah,
quick.
when you attack a creature with a magic weapon and you roll a 20 on the attack roll, in addition to suffering the attack's normal effects, that target takes an extra 3d8 psychic damage, and the creature must make a wisdom saving throw. If it fails, your weapon pierces both body and mind, and the target has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks and can't take reactions until the end of its turn.
Oh my god.
Ooh,
Okay.
See,
ooh,
Incredible.
you did that.
this,
Yeah, Harlan
okay.
did that.
Can you just real quick? Can you just go ahead and roll that damage dice to let me know how much damage you did with that? Because so double your damage dice and then add that psychic damage.
So I rolled 2 damage dice, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
so-
because the normal crit rules are that you just
Yeah.
roll double the amount of dice when you crit on something.
Right.
And so you roll double the amount of dice, and then you also add on your psionic, the psychic
Right.
damage that you do
The
from
crazy
your
stuff.
special weapon that you just got.
Hell yeah.
Sick. So he takes 8 plus 5 is 13 on just regular slashing damage. And then it's 3d8 psychic damage, which is 13 psychic damage, and he makes a wisdom saving throw.
Was that also with your regular attack bonus?
Do you apply the attack bonus to
Or
the
your
psychic
damage bonus?
You just add your strength to the total of the dice.
And +1 from the magic weapon.
I rolled fairly low, so but I added 6, which is the modifier on the attack. So I rolled 2 dice and then added the modifier, right?
Yep.
So that's that first one, and then the second
Yeah.
one was whatever second number I said was the 3d8. It was
Right, okay,
like
cool.
7 plus 1 plus 4 or something. It was like 11.
Yep.
So not great, but he makes a wisdom saving throw, and
which he gets a natural 1 on.
Yes! Holy moly!
So
he's
head
afraid of
explodes.
bugs.
His head explodes.
Very good.
You eat
one of
his
the wonderful
brain.
parts about having Secret DM Ted here is that he is adding the math as you say it. So shout out to Ted
Great,
for adding
thank
the
you
math.
so much,
Um,
Ted.
And confirm that all of that was correct. So I wanted to get that so we can rewind to the start of this huge turn that just happened
Yeah.
to kind of like capture the
So she
amazing nature of this, of you being up top, you yeet a dwarf off the side who falls and crashes, and all of you see Flute, who Klik, who the last time you all faced Mind Flayers, you were just totally locked into place the whole fight. And now that Moonboy has flown in, blown apart the last target here, you see Klik just push one of these dwarves off the side. He falls. She smacks another dwarf on the top of the head with the edge of her blade, and then just leaps through all the way across the air, all the way across the room, through the air. There's just this purple right behind her as she almost blurs as her psionic powers are pushing her across and float and land her right down next to this Mind Flayer. There's a flash from Moonboy as he gets distracted, and then Klik just raises her huge Githka and smashes the bladed side down onto his shoulder here. It cuts in, and when it cuts in, you see the sword almost fall for a second as all of the purple energy just kind of wavers around him, and black ichor splashes off of his body onto you a little bit as it just kind of splatters on your face. And then you see him look up in his tiny little beady eyes, and he goes, and you hear him ringing in your head just go, "No!"
Let my people go.
You remember the
Klik,
end of
Klik Moses.
remember the end of Starship Troopers? His hand on the big bug. It's afraid. It's afraid.
And you can feel. I will say, Klik, you. The last time that you faced these, probably you were put in a place of no agency here, but which kind of shook you to your core a bit. But you can feel this Mind Flayer be afraid of you. You can hear in that no that rings in your head. You communicate with things psionically, and you can almost smell the fear in your mind from it.
Mine smells.
She's so excited. Okay, I'm done. Good action.
Let the Mind Flayer
surge.
know. Don't let the Mind Flayer know how excited you are.
Good action.
She's like,
surge.
ah!
Play
No,
cool.
very scary.
That's gonna bring us.
Kratos,
So
something.
You do that incredible thing, and then you're like,
I've never done that.
Yeah, you look really cool and badass, and then make sure and look around to see if any of your friends notice
Yeah, she
you.
looks at Moonboy and is like, ooh!
Yeah. Okay, cool. It is now the dwarf, another one of the dwarfs' turn, and so Flute, you are right next to one of these dwarves, and you see it after turning and looking at two of its compatriots just get beat the hell up. It turns its head sideways like this, and it goes a little unnaturally far to the point where its eyes are in a straight line, but not horizontally, vertically. You hear a little bit of a crack, and you think it's just its neck cracking, but then you see blood dripping from its ear as two little tiny tentacles point out of the top of the ear, push this cylindrical brain matter up and through the ear until it wriggles itself out like a hamster going through a toilet paper roll, and it shakes.
You heard them.
Yes, it was the perfect metaphor. Well executed.
Thank
Dear
you.
God.
It kind of shakes itself, and the brain with these like four tentacles that hold itself up like legs is just standing on this dwarf, and it's this brain with tentacles is going to leap at you, Flute.
Oh no.
But you have seen one of these things before, and you know that this is a intellect devourer, something that
Dislike.
I'll
eats
say.
brains.
Dislike.
Yeah.
Do I get to make a roundhouse kick it away from me throw?
It's a reaction.
No, but
Kicks in.
very close. You do get to make an intelligence saving throw.
Oh, I feel like that would be the last thing I'd be doing, but...
You're having a good thing.
Oh, I got a 13.
Ooh, boy. That That
Flash.
saves.
No.
That
Oh,
saves.
wow.
As you feel as it's leaping toward you, you just feel like a warble in your head, like you're gonna pass out for a second as it's coming toward you, and you push it off, and it kind of like flops to the ground right where that dwarf was. So I am going to switch this token out as that dwarf seems to fall just totally limp to the ground there.
Upsetting.
That's
Hey,
dead
Dad.
dwarf.
I bet he's sleepy after that.
I'm bashful.
Sneezy.
He's gonna need
Okay.
a dock.
That was that creature's turn. It is now the last and final Mind Flayer's turn, and he looks at you, Klik, and he goes,
Yeah.
I'll see you again. And there is a as his body kind of whirs and collapses in a similar fashion that you've seen before when something plane shifts. And he is going to, his whole body just turns into a swirl and pops away as he is gone. and
I
out of
can't do
combat.
anything about that.
Do you have a reaction? What are you trying to do?
Nothing. I know that like somebody might have a reaction. I don't have anything for that.
Yeah.
I got nothing for whatever that was.
Yeah. You cannot. It doesn't seem like, even if you kind of like swing toward him, or just for flavor, like throw another bit of star from your starry form at him, it just kind of hits the whirring form and falls to the ground as the spell seems to have taken hold and take hold instantaneously as he roomps away.
I wish I was a wizard. Just
Wish
like
I
I
was a
say
little
when I
bit
hype myself
taller.
up every morning. I wish I was a wizard. I wish I was a wizard.
Ted is double checking that. Is reminding me to double check if anyone has any reactions. You could possibly.
No,
do
I mean
something here, but-
counterspell could maybe pull it off, but I don't
Yeah,
have that.
I don't know counterspell.
All right.
Um,
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see the Mind Flayer just the last living Mind Flayer of this Nautiloid, his whole form just whir and away. But I would love for everyone to go ahead and do a perception check, as you know. The information that you know is that before, when you stormed Nautiloid, when you defeated all the Mind Flayers, the mind control that was over them seemed to drop, and you are kind of checking in this moment. All the Mind Flayers are gone, to see if that is the same thing here.
I got a
Assume
nat
I'm-
20, 23.
I got a 23 as well, but not a natural.
Kat?
24,
Kai,
just
Flute?
bragging.
Cool. Kai, you're not there.
Oh, we see
there.
it. We perceive.
Perceives.
Mm.
That's gonna. So you know that you see the Kreen and the fish folk that are on the floor with you, just like slump to the ground and fall over as they were like advancing before, kind of like in a uniform line, and this one they just kind of like fall limply to the ground and like almost look dazed and unconscious, and nothing crawls from their ears. They seem to just be let out of the grasp of the force that was pushing them. However, all the dwarves up here do not seem to move at all or change
Still going, huh?
in any way. So that is going to bring up another one of the dwarves, who is going to move toward Flute, and he gets a 22 to hit as he swings his axe down at Flute. So that's going to hit with your AC, I believe, and so he's going to do damage to you, still in his dwarven form, and he does 9 points of slashing damage as his axe connects to your back here.
Cool. I go, oh, well, and I collapse unconscious onto the floor.
Oh, God.
Oh boy.
We haven't knocked somebody down in a
Uh-oh. All right, that is going
see
to
it.
bring up Flute. It is your turn, so since you are unconscious, I would love for you to make a death saving throw.
Oh no.
We haven't done this with you for a while, Andrew. It's like old times. It's like Arc 2 all over again.
Fail.
What?
All right, that is a
And
failure.
you only get one more fail?
Yeah, I have one
It's
permanent
two, it's
fail. So
What? No,
yeah.
because he has a permanent fail. That's
I
like
forgot
the thing.
about that.
that's part of me coming back from the dead. So 2 fails.
Okay.
And I'm on the full unconscious directly in front of an intellect devourer.
And a mind flare. Even though you surrendered.
Oh boy. All right, that is going
he's
to
alone
bring
at the buffet.
because you have because the mind flayer left that takes out the big long chunk of the fishfolk in Kreen that all were going back to back. So you see them all just kind of like writhing on the ground, not writhing, just like slowly waking up on the ground here, kind of rubbing their eyes, figuring out what happened. And it's going to bring us to the top of the initiative order, which is K.A.I, who
Oh, yeah.
we left
I forgot
in another
about me.
dimension from a flash, and you did a saving throw, and you failed it, correct?
I don't know if we know what I failed. I know I rolled a 19.
Okay, cool. So you failed it, and you are disconnected from the helm at the start of your turn here.
Bummer!
And everything you see looks purple. Just like when you come back, the room was tinted red before, and now everything is tinted purple. And you can, it's like a streamer room background has just like everything in this space. It seems to be a purple haze throughout everywhere. But
Uh-oh. I've got the purples.
you can definitely spend time investigating that and investigating the helm more, as you seem to not be able to control it or interact with it in this moment. But you also see in front of you a unconscious Flute who is laying on the ground, surrounded by dwarves with axes, and you see a brain with legs crawling over toward its head. Crawling
Right,
over
yeah.
toward Flute's head.
I come back into my body and I'm like, oh no, everything's purple. And I turn around and I'm like, Flute, everything's purple. Flute? Oh no. And I'm going to shoot Flute with a party dart. Healing word.
Yeah. Malibu rum, baby.
Honestly,
Yeah, I know what
best-
you need.
Best failed check ever.
Yeah,
maybe?
that probably saved my life. So
Came in
thank you.
kind of clutch.
Yep, it was a DC 20 on that to stay after something became aware of your presence for you to stay connected with the helm.
Could have used Flash of Genius, but I didn't think to. But it's okay. All right.
K.A.I, could you also, since you have not used the party dart in a while, you want to give us a little flavor description? Is what the party dart is? What your
Yeah,
healing
so-
word looks like?
K.A.I reaches out towards Flute's unconscious body, and his hand sort of unhinges, and a little barrel emerges from his wrist, and shoots a little dart into Flute's neck, filled with multicolored party liquid, and Flute's going to regain.
It's so unsettling. We gotta talk to K.A.I about this arsenal.
Flute's going to regain 12 hit points.
Ooh, I'll take it.
All right. Yeah. I mean, you might want to talk to K.A.I about the concoction, but it tastes like life in this moment as you get an
You can
axe to
taste
the
it
back.
in your mouth, even though there's a dart in your neck.
Banana?
Bananas Foster! And Kai's going to turn and he's going to blast the intellect devourer.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah, as you see this brain just like creeping toward Flute's ear as it's working its way over. Yeah, you absolutely can just shoot that shot.
That's going to be 24.
Absolutely hits.
All right. So That's going to be 11 points of force damage.
All right. So you're blasting him with this cannon here, and he takes 11 points of damage, and it just pulls a chunk of this brain, just like splatters it against the wall behind the intellect devourer, and it seems to still be wriggling and holding on, but you blasted about half of that brain off, and you just hear a
a terrible sound. Blast it again.
Okay, good shot.
Do it.
All right, that's going to be a 21 to hit.
Absolutely hits.
And 15 points of force damage.
Okay, cool. With that, you are just going to smash this thing into pieces
Yes.
as you take out, with your force cannon, you take one chunk of its brain out, and then you just get right on top of it, shoot that other shot, and it just squashes.
And I'm going to move forward and stand where the intellect devourer was standing.
All right, absolutely.
Meanwhile, Lord Asoto's still on the ground over there, right?
Facing the
He
wall.
seems to. He's facing the wall and just curled up, and you just see like his arms are over the side of his face, and there is like a little bit of ichor still leaking from him.
Oh, he's hung over. He's been smoking that weird contraption from his art again.
Oh god, that little bubbler's
cool.
so good.
I love that little bubbler.
Me too.
The sword
All
is
right.
very cool too. I'm excited
No, I
for
like
people to get a close look at the
Team-
sword.
Team Bubbler.
Kai,
bubbler.
are you doing anything else with your turn?
Nope, that's my turn.
All right, it's gonna bring up Moonboy.
Okay, Moonboy sees this mind flayer disappear in front of him and kind of looks at Klik and goes, "Oh shit!" in 1,000 voices, and flies past her out here. And does he see this whole scene?
No, he does not, because from the vantage point that he is lower here, but there is a level of communication that I'm not gonna you can just kind of, it makes sense that Kai would share what is happening quickly with the crew, so you can
Sure.
have the idea that like this is happening, but you didn't.
You also have a
Oh
voice
yeah,
to
no.
see.
I mean, I want to fly out and kind of like rise up so I can see the whole scene on the balcony.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. It would be something I feel like that was strategically would be communicated quickly, that there are dwarves up here, Flute just went down, Kai's back
He's
in
gonna
action.
immediately run for the others, see these 3 dwarves up here, and he kind of, before he even knows it, he sort of holds out this one semi-leafy lunar hand, and he just says, "Stop!" And all of the plants off of him like fall over these 3 dwarves, and it like shoots from his hand, almost like cherry blossoms or something. And I would like them all to make wisdom saving throws.
Ooh, boy, absolutely. 3 wisdom saving throws for each of the dwarves.
Sorry. Yes, wisdom.
Great. And which spell are you casting? Suggestion here?
This is
the
hold
spells?
person.
Hold person. Oh
Level
boy.
4.
All right.
Are they humanoids?
They are humanoids, and the highest they got was a 10.
Wonderful. They all cease to move.
Wonderful. Yeah, you see the crumpled dwarf on the second layer here,
went
frozen as you flew up, level with the top level. You're about like 40 feet in the air, and you can see both dwarves just frozen in place, pulling their axes back to smash down on Flute's wounded body again, but they're totally frozen in place.
That should be all 3 of them.
Yeah. There's just 2 on one layer, 1 on the other.
Oh,
So I
word,
just said
word,
1 and
word.
2. Yeah.
Oh, might be. I might not have been able to get that other one then. Hang on.
No,
Third
they're
level, you can target 1 additional humanoid. The humanoids must be within 30 feet of each other. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, they're all within 30 feet of each other.
Yeah. Okay. They all stop. I don't. That's it.
Okay, cool, absolutely.
Huge.
We are technically because
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You see Okay, cool. Yep, that's. I'm gonna make a little bit of a weird ruling here. As you see, all of their bodies are frozen in place here, and the dwarves do not move at all. You then after that, and if you want to do something here, you absolutely can. I'm a little bit. This is the end of the fight, I would say, unless you want to go one way or another with this. But it is all three of the dwarves' turns up next, except for the one on the lower level. But you see, with the dwarves' bodies frozen in place, all three of them, you see the brains crawl out of all three of their ears, just like almost simultaneously. Once their bodies are frozen, you see them just hold for a second, and there's a wriggle, and these tentacles pop out, and the brains again squish themselves through their ear canals. Pop out, pull themselves out, and they hit the ground, and they're all going to use the dash action to try and run through, like run away, basically. Just cockroaches, when the lights are turned on, scatter throughout this room, and either hide in the ship, or you don't really know where, just like get out of this space. One of them is like starts to burrow into the wall. The other one's like climbing up toward the window. If you want to smash them, you absolutely can.
I definitely want to smash them.
Definitely want to smash them.
Can I make an opportunity attack when I'm prone?
Yes, you just, you actually don't even have disadvantage on it. So you get 2 opportunity attacks, Flute, so make those. And then K.A.I, you can do an attack. Klik, if you have a ranged attack, you can do one as well. Moonboy, if you have a ranged attack, you can do one as well.
I do.
So
I got
we're just kind of
16 and a 20.
Okay, cool. Both of those hits. Just roll how much damage here. I'm just kind of putting them all in a pool. To see
the first one is 12 magical piercing, and the second one is 11 magical piercing.
Guys, I critted.
Woo!
Yes. I've done a crit.
Ooh, man, another crit? Holy shit.
I have a 14 hit, which I assume is not good.
Okay, cool.
I got a 23 to hit, 14 lightning damage, and 14 thunder damage, 2 lightning damage.
Okay, cool. I'm actually gonna stop it there because that does enough damage. As they all crawl out of these dwarves, just Flute, you give a swoosh swoosh of each of your swords as they try and get away from you, but from the ground you just spear 2 of them. One of them still wriggling on the sword a little bit, and K.A.I just whoop-booms him off of the wriggling, the skewered brain. You just cannon him off of that.
Hell
and then
yeah.
Moonboy, what spell did you cast?
I cast Guiding Bolt, and I did 32 damage.
Yeah. The last one on the bottom edge there is just like, you see it getting into the wall. It's like the wall is encompassing it and allowing it to like tunnel through it. And as it gets there, there's just a boom, and it splatters.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Turned it into light. Exactly.
You squashed all the team. Just now that you're focused, and this is the only thing, you're just like boom, 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 and they are all squashed and gone.
Very cool.
As you again have stomped the brains, defeated the mind flayers, and we are out of initiative with you all inside this nautiloid.
Guys, that ruled.
Is everyone okay?
I think
Is everyone alive?
Klik slowly
check.
fades out of invisibility and is just standing in a pile of black ichor splattered boxes.
Yeah, Moonboy screams as his head turns all the way around as he slowly lands and the light goes out of him, and he's like, "Oh, we win again!"
K.A.I looks at the helm and he says, "I have to go back in there."
In there?
I think when you say that, we're gonna cut right there to break at that moment. As you kind of like everybody realizes you're okay, you turn around and look at that and say that. We're gonna take a quick 5-minute break in the middle of this session as we got out of combat there. So.
Oh boy.
Holy shit, y'all! Good job. Good dice rolling. That's the. Ted was laughing at me at the beginning of the session because he was like, "Harlan, you're being so unfair in the intensity of this fight." And turns out I was wrong. You guys can just steamroll. He was wrong. You can just steamroll anything. I love it.
That's not true.
Steamroll.
Please don't think that.
Died.
They almost
Flute
ate
had 2
Flute's brain.
X's.
It was a little risky.
He's gonna get kicked off the X Factor.
Okay, cool. We're gonna take a quick 5-minute break. Everyone I saw a couple new names in the chat. Thank you all for hanging out with us. In the middle of our stream, so I could take a quick break where we drink, pee, and then we are back in just a second. So we'll see you with the second half of this session in 5 minutes. Kiss out your case. Okay, cool. Hello, hi, hello. Klik and Moonboy, you all see these fish folk and Kreen kind of like rousing themselves after falling to the ground, after the mind control that held them was broken. As you all are, Moonboy, you've flown up in the sky, and you can see both the higher level where K.A.I and Flute are up top, and where the just like zombie bodies of the dwarves are slumped over, laying on the ground. And Flute, you see K.A.I walk back over to this helm after being on it, kind of being jolted up from it, continuing to fight. And now that the fight's over, K.A.I just said, I have to go back in. What would you like to do?
Hold up, K.A.I. Hold just one moment. We might have
All right.
a cheat sheet here.
And I'm gonna go over to Lord Soto, who's I told to lay on the ground, and I'm going to step on his back and put the tip of my rapier into the fleshy back part of his head. And I'm gonna. Oh, I can't say fleshy.
No, that was Lord Soto responding to the
okay,
sword.
sorry.
He goes,
My fleshy parts.
My friend here seems to be having trouble with your helm. Anything you could think of that might help him take control of this ship?
Yes. He says, like, in telepathically to you, he says, yes, be a mind flayer.
Speak out loud.
You hear him like whisper, like this like whispered, hissy voice from underneath the tentacles that are a part of his face. He goes, yes, be a mind flayer.
That's not very helpful. I thought you were going to be a fountain of helpfulness.
I'm happy to be, but there's not much I can tell you. These are built for us and our psionic abilities. You're going to struggle with them a bit if you are not connected.
Who's in there?
Well-
What is the giant brain in there?
He looks over at you, K.A.I. And you
Don't
can
look at
see-
him. Look at the wall.
He kind of puts his hands up and his kind of turns around.
He's
not
got to
looking
see.
at
He's
you
got to
at all.
see stuff to do stuff. I don't want him to see anybody.
And he says, it is a connection to our colony. It is built to be able to communicate, to touch with the larger world that we are a part of.
All right.
It's a piece of a network.
Anything I should know about it? Anything? Any weaknesses? Any?
I mean, if you can see things when you connect to it, other things can see you.
Right. All right. I'm just going to give it another shot. I think I can do it.
Yeah, you could do it.
I feel like I can do it. I did it one
Believe in
time.
you.
I'm out of bardic inspiration, but I'm like trying to give you bardic inspiration, but it's a little hollow because I'm out of the actual charges.
I can't give
Yeah,
you.
Kai looks at Flute. He can feel Flute trying to like inspire him, but it's not working, and it makes Kai a little sad for Flute. Kai looks at Flute and he's like, "Sure thing, bud."
The Moonboy is going to place a hand on Kai's shoulder and cast Bless.
Ooh.
And all three of you are now blessed.
All right. I still have my intellect fortress up, but I think I was supposed to roll a concentration check when I got hit by the dwarf.
Yeah.
Should I roll that now?
Yeah, let's have it be a DC 15, just kind of like retroactively a little bit, but we'll find out if you have that spell still up. As you make a Constitution saving throw to see if you are able to maintain this spell that you have.
Success.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so even through all this, you still have enough of a twiddle of your thumbs here that it keeps the magic rolling. That is this spell that allows your mental energy to be stronger.
Yeah, there's this like runic halo rotating around my head. I guess my I don't really have a brain, so I guess it's around sort of my center. But anyway, If everybody's all right, I'm going to give it another shot.
Get in there, man.
All right.
And remember that I love you.
I love you too. I love you all. I'm going to reach out and touch the helm.
Right before you do, a ballista bolt slams into the side of the ship, and you hear Relic go, "I hit it! We fixed it! I hit it!
Oh, no.
Reload! Reload!"
I'll fumble
Relic,
for
you
the
can stop.
walkie-talkie like,
Yeah.
Relic, we've got control of the ship. Relic.
Oh shit! It's like, God,
Moonboy
maybe-
gets on the
maybe we can-
walkie-talkie and goes, I think it was that last ballista bolt that did it, actually. Good job, Relic.
Maybe
I'll kind of get an idea will strike me, and I'll look at Kai. I'll be like,
maybe if K.A.I can take control of this nautiloid, we could use these tentacles to repair our ship.
Maybe. Who knows what we could accomplish with an actual nautiloid of our own?
I would like to use it to brush my teeth.
I don't know.
Go-
Aren't they prehensile?
Sounds
All right, no, the Windrider
I
is
think,
absolutely
I
right.
think that's a good idea.
If we get control of this ship, we're going to use those tentacles to do a ton of stuff, Windrider. Don't worry. We're going to go bowling with them. We're going to open beers. It'll be incredible.
sorry, I just got so distracted because I just had a cut scene happen in my head that was like, "Welcome to the Nautiloid Garage," like that immediately just
Pimp
started
my
rolling in my.
Nautiloid. Pimp my
Hell yeah.
Lloyd.
I mean, this. Hey, all right. Christopher Lloyd's there. They're gonna pimp him
Yeah.
for some reason.
Yeah.
I mean, we own the ship now, right? We effectively have two ships.
Well,
If we
we don't know
can-
how to control this one,
If
but
we can, like, jailbreak it, you know?
Jack
Yeah.
in, man. You're blessed. You're moon blessed.
All right.
Okay.
What does
it
that
seems
give
like
me?
it's probably a bit
D4?
tricky to
Plus,
drive.
plus 4 to all attack rolls and ability checks for 1 minute.
Okay, all right, okay.
It'll be like when they put the DUI breathalyzer in your car. Like, it's just a huge pain in the ass every time Kai wants to drive this nautiloid around.
No, I have to blow into it with my mind and suck that out.
Yes,
And
I
then
have
blow
no
again.
mouth, so the system is really stacked against arcane consciousnesses.
We can get
Kai-
you a whistle too. Right?
hear-
That's how.
I would
You hear
love
Lord
that.
of Soto say, "Find the ship. When you're in there, when you're in that space, find the ship."
Which ship?
Yeah,
This
you want
one.
to elaborate? This
Yeah,
one?
This one. Yes, you are connected to a zoomed out, a wider eagle eye version of what it is connected to, and if you can find the ship in there, you will be. The loop will be closed, and you will be back here.
It's like Independence Day.
So if, like, I need
Moonboy
to get
says
back...
under his breath.
Okay. All right. If I don't make it back okay, kill him.
Me?
He's just
No.
kidding.
I'll wink at Kai with my solid black eye, and I'll be like,
He's just kidding, Lord of Soto.
Yeah, and I hit on
that
him.
that was so evil.
Yeah, you just see the tentacles that from his face just kind of like, as he shakes his head, just wag back and forth as he's like, you hear a hiss.
If you look
Okay,
like
back
you're
To
in
brave
trouble,
those...
we'll pull you off. We'll pull you out.
Yeah, just deal 30 damage to me.
Kai, yeah, you can walk over, and if you sit back down in the helm, the world that is still looks tinted purple to you fades away as you feel this jolt, and the purple just shines bright and goes into blackness again, and you are in this undulating purple-black space. And the first thing you see is you think you're refocusing, but you are not, as you see nothing but brain. There is a humongous, giant brain directly right in front of you.
Oh dear.
"Show me what you got." I couldn't help it. That's all I could think of. I'm sorry.
Yes, you have teleported into an episode of Rick and Morty from season 1. Yep.
I'm going...
It's 2.
I guess I'm confronted with this brain. I'm going to do what I did
We
before
suck.
and try to, like, break its connection with the ship.
How so? What are you, from what you have experienced so far, how are you using your mental energy to do this?
I'm going to reach out and try to sort of rewrite the magical code of this place. Like if I was jailbreaking a phone, except this time it's trying to escape from a giant hive mind of awful brain-eating monsters.
Absolutely. So, like the
It's
arcane
kind of like
energy...
jailbreaking an iPhone.
Just like it.
It's kind of like jailbreaking an Android.
So as your mental energy spreads out and kind of reaches toward this brain, it connects with it, and as soon as it does, you hear, "Hello, Kai.
You know me?
I do now."
Well, if we're on a first-name basis, then who are you?
I am the Cortex, and now I know about your creator. This is helpful information for me to have.
Well, yeah, what do you know about my creator?
That you all...
Probably more than me.
No, I know exactly what you know.
Right. Well... Why are you chasing us? Just because we stole one of your ships? We just needed it to get from one place to the other.
Yes. Yes, it started as that. It started as retribution. But now Mengabwe is ours. And now the balance has shifted.
Gobway. I think you just like making enemies when you don't have any.
Everyone is our enemy, and everyone will lose.
I don't think so. The second part, not the first part. I agree that everyone is your enemy. You guys are terrible.
It seems you have won twice. But these are small victories. I am here for the long haul. I am here to make sure the loop continues, and continues, and continues. And there's nothing you or the Queen can do about it. Time is ours, and it will be. Now I need you to roll, before anything else happens, I need you to roll a Arcana check.
Okay. That's gonna be a dirty 20, and let's give it a flash of genius. Got 2 left. So 25.
With this 25, there is a moment where you can feel this connection intensify as you have just touched this brain, and there's almost, it's like an electric current goes through your body, and that's how this is being communicated to you. It's psionic, it's mental, and I know that you have something that protects your mind here, but this is like enveloping your full body. It's like you can hear you can like, when your like body is pressed up against someone else's and they're speaking, and you can like feel the vibration of them speaking on your chest. It's just all throughout you, and right then the brain just goes away. It just goes completely dark. It just disappears altogether, and you are in a floating dark purple undulating space again. And with the brain gone, with nothing in front of you, it's easier to see a small, tiny sized version of the nautiloid floating. It looks very far away because it's so small, but it's highlighted as it's the only other thing you can see here in space. And I would like to hear how you get to it.
I'm just going to sort of I reach out with my mind and think that I want to be there, and I'm there.
Has Kai ever flown before? Like had the magic fly spell, the magic spell fly cast on him, or been on like a?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, cool. It feels like that. When you think this, you're just pushed through this space, and none of this purple undulating mist around you feels like anything, but you just fly through it. It just moves swiftly past you, and you can see the ship getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and it is just there, resting in place. And as soon as you get right up next to it, if you move toward the helm, if you step foot on it, there's just a and you're back in the ship. You can see Moonboy next to you, you can see Flute next to you, and you also are attuned to this helm, and you can see the front of the ship, you can see the back of the ship, you can see the sides of the ship in a way that has been described to you as being connected to a Spelljammer helm.
Wow. I'm going to speak to everyone through like the intercoms of the of the Nautiloid and be like, "Hello, hello. I think we're in."
This didn't have a PA system before, but it definitely does now. As you just hear Kai's voice kind of like boom with what feels like something over his mouth too. It's like coming from inside the ship somewhere. You just hear Kai be like, "Woo, woo," and
I just reconfigure a different system to make sound.
okay, cool. Yeah, as you can like, I mean, you're someone who can. This works especially well for you and comes especially easy to you as someone who built their own body. You can feel that you can kind of move things around the ship organically a bit. In fact, you do feel like a little tickle around the front of your face as you don't see anything that is like this, but it feels like you have 4 tentacles attached to your face. But not in the same way when a Mind Flayer is grabbing you, but instead reaching out from your face, like fingers. And if you move one a little bit, you see one of the tentacles at the front of the ship move as well, and it seems like you can control those front 4 tentacles.
Yeah.
That's so
I
cool.
use them and I'd like throw up the devil horns.
Hear Goliath come over the walkie-talkie and say, "Everything okay in there?"
Jordan, I think you're muted.
I sure am, Kai. You always know.
I always know, I can tell. I'm doing
Kai,
sound magic right now.
that was rad. That was sweet. Is this ours now? Are you the ship? Are we? Can I?
I think so. That brain was in there. It was being quite rude. It said that Mungabwe has fallen. The balance
no
has
good.
shifted. Everyone is their enemy. It sounds like they were talking. He talked about the queen. I wonder if they meant the undying queen from down in the magistrate's lair. They
Just
said
to
that time. He said that time was theirs. And
Just
then
to
I was
refresh
going
my-
to mess with him, but he left.
That all sounds pretty freaky, man.
It was weird.
I have to say, I'm worried about you being in there too long. Who knows? You know, you're in their heads. Who knows if?
Oh
they
no,
might be
he
yours.
definitely could see into my
He's in
head.
there.
Not
He
head,
can-
but you get it.
Damn it! That means he can make amazing Denver omelets as well.
No. I keep all that stuff locked away.
No, you said he was in there. That means that the brain can make amazing Denver omelets.
It's fine. It'll be alright.
What? I mean, we're still pushing through goblin territory. Perhaps. I don't know. Perhaps it will be easier with a Mind Flayer escort.
Yes, perhaps they wouldn't dare attack a Nautiloid.
I
We
don't
could
know if we
also
want to
see-
go with the PR campaign of the
That's not
Mind
great.
Flayers.
Okay, or maybe it could be like, hey, we took this ship. Look
We
how
captured
strong
it.
we are.
Yes,
Don't
we
mess
do.
with us.
The way I see it, we've done the Goblin King in here sort of a favor. We cleaned up all these squid faces hanging
We don't
around.
even know if the Goblin King's still alive.
I guess that's,
That's
a good
true.
point.
Good point.
Smell all of the Mind Flayer's breath and see if any of it smells like goblin brains.
I'll get on
Well,
the
if they had
walkie-talkie.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, if they had taken over the goblin civilization or destroyed them all, wouldn't we have found goblin thralls here?
That's a good point.
We weren't trying to overtake the goblins.
Oh, right.
Oh, right.
Lord Asoto says, like still facing the wall.
I'm gonna fly up by him.
Yeah, what was all this treaty nonsense you were blabbering about?
And as I ask, I am also casting Detect Thoughts on him, and he has to make a Wisdom saving throw as I'm going to cannonball into his brain.
Boy. All right. He got a 21.
Well, then he made the save.
Well,
Yeah. You hear him say hello, Flute.
Right, sorry, I forgot.
I'm going to hex him again. I'm going to give him disadvantage on Wisdom
there you
saving
go.
throws.
There you go. There you go.
I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts again.
We got there, kids.
He's like, it's like talking to me. You don't have to. Oh! As a pentagram appears on his back.
God.
And you see there's just like a fluctuation of magic from Flute. And he got a... Oh, so he has disadvantage this time. It is a
Oh, I'm
16.
sorry. They're both concentration. He can make a regular one.
Okay, cool.
I can't do them both.
Well, then he got a... I still rolled a 16 first, so he got a 16.
And my DC is 16.
All right. So he saves again. He's like, surprise, surprise. Meddling around in a mind player's mind is a bit difficult.
I didn't want to get dirty anyway. So, what is all this treaty nonsense?
The Meridian Tract and an organization which you know is kind of a secret enforcer of rules here and there, kind of a violent underground diplomats. He's like the Meridian Tract and the colony came to an agreement to protect this space. That is why we are able to operate in the way that we do, in a way that works alongside you all, the way that we are allowed. The reason we are allowed to have independence on Glyph. But after your meddling, there was a skewing of some of the balances between Ventress, a major advocate for the alliance between us and the Meridian Tract, between Ventress falling and not having an ability to follow up on the promises that he had made for us, and the act of aggression toward us of our ship being taken. Did not take much for the Mind Flayers to respond appropriately. And as I am one of the failures who allowed this weakness to happen, I was sent to collect you all and make an example of you at the show the might of the colony. But once again, we have failed. And I would be as good as dead returning with a second failure, so here I am with you.
That's all right. What did you find out in the helm there, Kai?
Oh, Kai's still in the helm.
Yeah, he's connected to it, but he can communicate.
From the brain, you mean? They call themselves the Cortex. What's the Cortex, Asoto?
It is the central hub of our consciousness. We are connected by it. We share... He looks over at you, Klik, in a similar way that you share information outside of language, outside of anything spoken. The Mind Flayers also share that. Only we are one entity. We are a hive mind. And at the center of that is the Cortex. The center of the colony is the Cortex.
Could the cortex return its connection to the helm, or is it gone?
He kind of thinks, and I don't know if he knows this. I will find out by rolling dice. He says, I am a diplomat, not a pilot. I know when I have communed with those who know, and he kind of like thinks for a second. He says, I know that it is like a pathway that can be tapped into, like he gestures toward one of your rocky talkies. There is a, it's like one of those where there's a magical connection that happens, but it can be broken through space or time, and it seems like you have severed it.
Well, that's good.
How many more nautiloids are patrolling around Garden looking for us?
2.
Can I do an insight check on this answer?
Absolutely.
That would be a 21.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like absolutely the truth. He's doing everything he can to maintain his life. It seems clear from what he told you that he would be left for dead at this point, and he is trying to show you that he is not trying to trick you because he wants to live.
Right. Can K.A.I use the helm to see where those ships are?
Yes. But to see is to be seen.
Right. And are the mind flayers Klik's?
What's the name of Klik's planet? I would know.
that was my next question. Is
Okay.
what are the
Well,
mind
you
flayers doing on Jadorian?
He looks at you and goes, "The mind flayers are not on Jadorian. We have been doing nothing but chasing you. We are the deepest in. We are the farthest in."
Then what's going on with Jadorian? Why do you have Kreen here?
Oh, these were captured.
From where?
A ship with goblins fleeing.
Fleeing.
Oh.
Again, do these answers ring true to me?
Yeah, I mean, he is in the same way that you used magic to press into his mind, and he kind of met that with finesse, and you did not sneak past him at all, trying to magically break into his brain. He is similarly hard to read, as one, his just the biological makeup of his body is very stoic. Besides, like the wriggle of his tentacles, he just has a bit hard body language to read. But
Right, because he's
everything
a squid
is
alien.
yeah, because he's a squid
Makes
alien.
sense.
But
That makes sense.
even
Makes
with
a
his
little
kind
bit
of
of sense.
like
You can
his
tell when they're lying because the photophores around their eyes get very pale. And a cloud of chlorine gas will be emitted. Oh no, it's aroused.
He also seems to be giving you answers very quickly and matter-of-factly in a way that does not connote lying. It just more of he just is saying immediately what, like responding to your questions immediately. So
I have-
it's all clocking.
Spilling the beans over here.
I have one last question. Back in that tavern, the Demon Slayer, what was your favorite drink?
As he's thinking, I'm chopping off his head.
Oh boy. Okay. Are you just want to strike a killing blow here toward him?
Yeah, you said he was pretty hurt. I can roll him out if you want.
Absolutely, roll with advantage, because I am 100% going to give him a chance to respond if you do not kill him here. But you can roll with advantage.
Also, Flute, you have your
Wish,
blessed,
yeah,
remember?
Blessed, yeah.
I got a 26 and a 24 and an 18.
Okay, 26, 24, and 18 points of damage.
No, those were all 2 hit.
Oh, okay. 26, 24, 18, all 3 of them hit.
So he's going to take
I'm not going to put you in initiative order. I'm going to let you act and be surprised with a surprise attack because I personally am also surprised. So
Do it.
He's gonna take 27 magical piercing from my Windrider's rapier, and then I'll take out my scimitar, and with the last hit, oh shit!
Oh,
nice down.
I just pinballed it. He will take an additional 9 slicing damage.
There is as soon as you say that about the drink, he turns turns over toward you to respond, and with that, the momentum of him turning, as his head is just cleanly severed from his body, and it goes through the tentacles as well, as his head rolls one way and smashes to the ground, and the remaining nubs of the ends of his tentacles just fall down like fingers wriggling on the ground. And they just like continue to wriggle for a little bit, like just larva moving on the ground, and the body slumps over and falls down as you have
God, Moonboy was
killed
standing
Florida
right
Soda.
there, and for sure didn't see it coming, and like has a streak of
black
Mind Flayer
blood.
blood across him, with like kind of a half smile as though he was about to find out what a Mind Flayer drinks.
I'll kind of look around and be like,
We weren't gonna take him with us.
He certainly would have betrayed us at his first opportunity, as soon as it was in his interest.
He had surrendered.
Yes, but he's too dangerous to keep a prisoner. The second he could get in someone's mind, he'd get loose.
I agree.
He had surrendered to us. He was under our care. And I do not agree with murdering a prisoner with no defenses. A Mind Flayer or not, it is a war crime. I think Klik kind of just jumps off the end of the thing and goes back to the Kreen below and tries to, talk, glean what she can from the Kreen. But she is pretty shaken by a sudden murder.
I think Moonboy kind of turns to Flute in that same moment, and he's kind of terrified looking, kind of 100-yard stare, and he's like, Windrider, people are going to try to tell you that wasn't awesome. It was. I don't know if you should have killed him, but that ruled. Never forget that.
and as you're talking to me, something odd happens where like my nostrils sort of open and my solid black eye kind of glistens as I take like a deep breath, and I'm gaining Dark One's Blessing, where when I reduce a target to 0 HP, I get a boon of temporary hit points equal to my level and charisma modifier.
Does Moonboy notice
So you watch
this?
as some of the wounds that the dwarves like inflicted sort of like stitch up on my face.
He looks at you very seriously, and he points at you, and he says, awesome. But pretty evil. Keep an eye on that, Windrider. Pretty evil.
As you jump down, like as this is happening and you jump down, Klik, you see, like when you jump down, all of the Kreen and the fish folk kind of like cower as they are fully like getting up and starting to move away and have just been like backing away and trying to figure out what's going on. One of them is inspecting the body of the mind, like the completely smooshed Mind Flayer that had fallen from the top at the very beginning of the fight. And when you land, they're like, but one of the Kreen, this kind of more beetly looking but still mantis, like it just has like a larger wings that kind of form like
Booty?
They look like broader shoulders almost on the back. Wait, what did you say?
Booty.
Oh, booty, yeah. Also,
Got a big old wing booty.
I am the leader of this place.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah, he's got a circly broad shape about him.
Yeah, kind of like a braver looking Kreen steps up to you and he goes, excuse me, the main person of this crew, she goes to you in Kreen, kind of like clicks at you and goes, "Who are you? Are we safe?"
We're friends. We just came to clean up the mess around here. How did you wind up here? I don't understand. Are you all from Jadorian?
Yes. She like looks around and she kind of like just realizing who is here with her. She says, "The three of us are. The fish folk are not. I do not know them."
And she just full on ignores the fish people.
Who have now all gathered and are just like standing together, like physically shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, she makes no effort to comfort the fish folk. She
The stepmother.
yeah,
The
no,
stepmother.
there's no interest in them
The
whatsoever.
jumper.
Do I recognize any of the Kreen?
Roll a history check.
That is not very good. It's a 10.
No. They are. The one you were talking to is strong, but younger than you, kind of like more Gluck's age. And the other two are both much older, but you don't recognize them at all. They're like thinner, very wiry mantis folk that look much more like Rachel would know as praying mantis. That kind of like larger abdomen and the spread out like gangly limbs.
Sure.
Yeah, and they are like grayer, and even though they're strong, they're still look older.
We came to rescue Jadorian. We're here to help. You fleed? What's happening?
She looks at you and kind of like as if
Flesh,
she's still
excuse me. Sorry.
she's still waking up a little bit, and she's just like, "Yes, we were banished for standing up against what the elders were doing, and so we tried to seek passage away." And she's just like remembering as she's talking a little bit, and so we paid some of the goblins to that were diving deep and getting closer to Jadorian as we found our way off the planet to get us out of here, get us maybe to the surface and be free, not have to deal with the desecration that is happening there, start a new life.
Help me understand. What are the elders doing? How could they be making these decisions on their own?
She looks at you, and I want you to roll a persuasion check here. It's not difficult.
Klik's not great at those. Persuasion. Yep, -1. 12.
Well, luckily she got a 20 on insight, so she's reading you for what she... That was actually something she was like, if she would have failed, if she would have rolled low, it would have been a problem for you, but instead she rolled high because you have good intentions here, and you do want to help your planet or your home. And she says, "You were banished too. Yes? There's no reason
Yes, long ago.
And she says, "The elders are afraid. They have been convinced that the best thing for the safety of Jadorian, for the people there, is to work with the Meridian Tract and work with the Arcane that they bring there. And they are allowing the Arcane to tap into the power that is given to a Kreen upon its death, to not only harvest its psionic energy that it is enveloped in, but to grow the carapace that is left behind.
Ugh.
They are meddling with the dead.
Zombie greed.
That's desecration. That's goes against everything that we believe. To not let the dead rest is to violate everything as a society. I don't. How the Meridian Tract is doing this to keep us safe?
They are telling them stories of a great power that is coming from beyond this world, and that we need every weapon we can to fight against it. And the elders believe them. And I do not know of those things. I do not know of truth to those things, but I can tell you that no fight is worth the cost of disconnecting those who have moved past their corporal form from what they are currently plugged into mutating it. She says, no. I would rather see our world enveloped than with... She kind of like interrupts herself and just kind of like looks scared and sad, and it's like, we told them there was a better way. And she gestures to you like you seem to say, like you seem to believe, and they called me a fool.
Klik's visibly shaken by the idea that this is happening sort of within the clutch. She was fairly convinced that mind flayers had something to do with it, that there was some sort of mind control or possession happening, and to believe that the leadership of her clutch is completely turned against its people is, shattering. But she turns back to the group of Kreen and says, "Well, you have to join us. We're going to Jadori, and we're going to free our people. I came with Gluck on a golden ship where we've defeated the Meridian Tract before, and we can do it again."
I just rolled a history check for if she knows Gluck or not, and I got a 18. And she kind of, you see her big wings kind of like flutter for a second. And she goes...
10. You rolled a history check.
I rolled for the NPC.
Great,
yeah.
thank God.
Yeah. And when you say Gluck, her wings like flitter out a bit, and you see that she even has them. She just like has these like larger wings, and she's like, "Gluck is with you?"
Yes. We
He's
met him
alive?
on a nearby moon.
She kind of like clicks back at the other two who are just both kind of like holding their hands nervously, like their mantis hands, and they're just kind of like twiddling them, and she was like, "Gluck's alive," and they both perk up and kind of chitter and out of joy, and they're like, "Oh, really? What?" And the other was like, "Oh my goodness, no way! That little asshole always gets away with everything." And they kind of are clearly excited to hear that. No, yeah, we know Gluck. We are, just members of the same community, and there was a group of us that were trying to get a bit of a resistance going, a bit of a pushback against what was happening there that was picked out very easily. She kind of like shakes her head and is like, "We're all bad at keeping secrets, every one of us." But they're like, "Yeah, but Gluck was the first one we saw punished," and you know that like Gluck has this like milky eye that has like this kind of a piece of his face has clearly been very wounded and healed over time. And he remembers he told you all about being like physically beaten up and kicked out for trying to push back against what was being done there. So yeah.
You join us. Join Gluck. Continue to resist. We can beat them. We have. We will. It is a coward that turns against its own. The council, they have failed. They have no leadership where they do not lead.
And she goes, yeah, seems like that is a thing that we do have that they don't. And she looks at you and goes, leadership. And she goes, my name's Klik. And what is yours?
Klik, it's Klik.
All right.
Kalik? Sorry, spell that.
Yeah. It's K-A-L-A-K-T-O-O-N. Klik.
Ah. Okay, thank you.
With 5 apostrophes.
And
Thank you for your bravery,
hey,
for defending your people. I couldn't believe it when I heard. To banish you for bravery is just the opposite of the Clutch I knew.
well, just like we change, our homes change as well. And she kind of nods to you and says, now do you mind if we if I get me and my aunts off of this horrible ship? It looks like we're being digested, she says as she raises a foot up, and there's just like a little bit of a squish underneath of her.
Ugh. Yeah, that's... We have a ship waiting. Follow me.
Wonderful. And she chitters at the 2 other Kreen, and they're like, okay, here we go! And they both say as they're like, following somebody else into another place of danger. Wonderful. And I was like, yeah, wonderful, here we go.
I'll take up the rear and follow them over to the other ship.
They kind of like look around at you, Klik, and I'm sure you, or I guess, Moonboy, you maybe show them where to go as they look at the stairs and look at you like,
Sure.
we were mind controlled on here? Yeah.
Light the way.
Yes, I know. We had a big fight. You guys were evil then, and you're good now.
You hear him saying as he flies down the hallway.
Wonderful.
As you leave, sorry.
Were we any good at being evil? One of the older Ant Kreen asked.
Not really.
Not
Oh.
really.
We're pretty good at the ballista.
No, I haven't shot a weapon in years. I can't believe they dug that out of my consciousness that I knew how to do that. Me neither. You used to be such a good ballista shooter, they say as they just chit-chat and follow you, Moonboy.
I'll call after
Klik
you,
will hiss
Moonboy.
at the cowering fish folk and just come.
They all just together in unison nod, and they're like, yes, 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 and they all just follow.
I'll stay back here with K.A.I in case he needs an express ticket back to the dinger.
I will lay out one of the tentacles of the Nautiloid, or 2 of them, and use them as a bridge to the dinger.
Cute.
Yeah, boy, they walk to the front of the ship, and all of them are spooked when they're like, ah,
It's
as
fine.
as they see the front of the ship, but you, K.A.I, there's a booming voice that comes from
The ship's ours now. I know it still looks scary, but not for long.
The other 2 tentacles form a little heart hands.
Yes! Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna get on the Rocky-Talkie and be like, yeah, Kai, I'm down here near the tentacles, and this is actually pretty terrifying, too. You should probably just see soul movements and speaking. The fishmen are pretty terrifying.
You see even Relic is sees you all and knows you're fine, but the halfling gunner is still just holding tight to the trigger of this large crossbow ballista, and he's like, We're good, right? This K.A.I's...
Yes,
Oh.
it is K.A.I. Ask the ship something only K.A.I would know. K.A.I, they don't believe you, I'm sorry.
I take the tentacles and I wave.
See, that's just like how he waves sometimes.
Yeah, Goat the Goliath bosun out there next to the crossbow. It's just like huge jaw wide open, just like,
The
yeah,
tentacles,
that's definitely K.A.I.
they clap like this. I'm going to turn this thing into a hot rod.
Cobble from the older kobold up from the crow's nest goes, this is definitely what's going to get me killed. I truly have no idea how, but this is going to get me killed. Yeah, and I think that there is plenty for you all to do here, as you all now have taken possession of a new ship here. A ship that you all definitely should not have, both in and
true.
out of game.
We carjacked the DM's toy. Woo!
So
Kai starts doing donuts.
But I think
The tentacles are like reaching into rooms and throwing out all the mind flare stuff.
Now, when you say doing donuts, do you mean like the ship is making donuts in Kai's
Yes,
kitchen?
it's automated,
Like actually.
Yeah, the tentacles are going down into the dinger, like. Gross.
Whipping up some donuts.
They don't have enough dexterity for donuts. The best I could do is beignets. I'm sorry.
This is a giant ship having this conversation.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah. Oh man,
This whole
just-
time, Kai has been seated in the helm with purple light shining out of his eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that, like, yeah, you have two ships now. One of them is very broken. The dinger has been severely busted apart in the front left side of it here. But you do seem to have control of this other ship that is much less busted. But yeah, so we can kind of decide how you want to move forward there next week. But Flute, or Andrew, you want to add stuff to?
I just had a quick question that I think I know the answer to. Those dwarves, they're all dead, right? The ones that had the intellect devourers come out of their ears.
You can roll a medicine check
All right.
as you lean down to investigate them.
That was poor.
Do you touch them, Andrew?
No, I am deeply disturbed by what I saw from them. I would not touch them. I would maybe prod them with the toe of my boot. Hey, how long does that bless last, Moonboy?
1 minute.
Okay, it's been longer than a minute. I got an 11.
Yeah, probably.
You could say this has happened. Like, we did another scene here, so you can roll bless this one time for this one room.
Oh, okay. What do I get with bless, Moonboy?
A D4.
I'm sorry.
So 11 plus 1. I got a 12.
Yes! It worked.
I've always been blessed, I think to myself.
They are alive.
Oh no. Wait.
They are, when they fall over, like they're laying there on the ground, and their eyes are mostly all wide open, and they just seem to be laying there. But they are breathing.
Yeah, I'll say to Kai,
Kai, these dwarves are alive.
Oh dear. I'm so sorry. I guess Kai will maybe take a look at them next week.
yeah.
Yeah,
time.
end scene, I think.
Yeah. Let's
Yikes.
let's leave it on the shot of just the wide open, wide-eyed dwarves just laying there on the ground,
Ugh.
and you all can solve that riddle
Brains came
another
out.
time. Well,
It's not their
brains came out of their head.
Okay,
Doesn't
fair.
mean-
Just
their
having
brains.
two in there would
Yeah,
seems
I mean,
like
gosh.
it would kill you.
That's a
Yeah.
bad
Just the act of having.
Says the
Well, they might
giant
be-
snail-tentacled ship.
They
Yeah.
might be they might have like very little brain left. They're probably maybe like, in terrible comas.
Well,
Anyway, This is a fun thing to
in
think
next
about.
week.
This is a fun thing to think about on the week until next week's episode.
For a peek inside these dwarves' heads,
Oh,
probably.
boy.
Wonder what
Now
kind
they're
of
all
religion they're
sleepy.
gonna come up with.
Well, cool. Thanks everybody for joining us. Congratulations to our crew for a truly amazing
Holy
fight. This is our
moly.
first 3-session fight that we've had.
What a banger.
And
Oh boy.
boy, I tell you what, I am impressed. I feel like I'm always, I gotta root for the baddies in some way just to make sure they do the best they can to be the baddies. But that was some impressive rolling and just strategy all the way through. So, go team.
That went.
Boom.
You know, it wasn't
a fun
it
one.
wasn't milkshake smooth, but that's what made it so fun.
Yeah. Nobody got their brain eaten. That's a big
blizzard.
deal.
Yeah, it was
At the
terrifying.
end
When
of
that
the
thing
day,
came out of the
it
guy's
was-
head, I was like, oh my god, I have 1 hit point. I have one
No.
Yeah.
one hit point.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's a
mean,
good thing I got knocked out of the.
Yeah, that was huge.
Yeah,
That
for
was,
sure. I was like, maybe I can get over there, but it would take an action, so I wouldn't be able to do anything when I got there. It was like, I could.
I could have done something, but the odds of them getting there first was
Yeah.
it was hairy. I mean,
When you-
we're
when you
okay
said-
for now.
when you said you were unconscious, Ted in my headphone went, ooh.
happy late birthday, Ted.
He was like, you're in trouble. It was crazy. So,
Oh man.
good job. Shout out to Jason Wardell and the keys here, live soundtracking the whole thing. I think I want to make sure that everyone knows. I want to say this over and over again so everybody knows that we have some Jason Wardell behind the scenes here, improvising a live soundtrack to the show every week, which is just truly amazing. We've got Case Drury as well doing stream work for us every time this shifts or art comes out of nowhere. Case is doing that wonderful work from Tiger Moon Productions, so thank you so much to both.
And one more time for Secret GM Ted for helping us navigate this insane combat that Harlan cooked up for us. If you like, these people and us, and you want to make sure that we can pay them all appropriately, please consider financially supporting the show either by becoming a subscriber or becoming a patron. If you're not in a position to do that, we totally understand. Please just use your mouth and share the show. Yeah, yeah.
There are other ways that you can
Let
make
it go,
right.
fight it.
You can
Fight
make
it.
us happy. Have you considered?
She means sing.
Stargazer, Moonboy, Klik, the Crusher, K.A.I, Humblia, Chef, and the Windrider, Flute, Whimteaser. They're better than heroes.